Good morning, guys. May the 11th here. Happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there. You know who you are. Enjoy the day. But I just thought I'd have a Sunday morning musing. Now that I have finished up on that dump card, there's been a couple of individuals that have thrown out, hey, why don't you do this or why don't you try to do that? And I'm giving some serious thought. What I'd like to do is build a steam engine, but I don't have the I don't have the skill to build a steam engine. That's actually what I'd like to do. I could probably modify one, but and something I always wanted to do was to build um, a dummy, a steam dummy. Basically, all that is you just pick yourself out a passenger car, modify it, stick a boiler in it, have the face coming out of the front, and you've got a steam dummy. It's a project that I may look into someday. That would basically be installing a modified O-gauge boiler into a smaller standard gauge car. I think it would be doable, and I think it would be fun, but this is what I'm working on right now, or what I'm thinking about. I have a few shots to fire across your bows. And by the way, if you don't have this, I cannot stress enough what a great book it is. They were selling this in York, I saw this past York for $120 a copy. I think I gave 100. It doesn't make any difference if it's 100 or 120. It is money well spent if you're into this stuff. And I'll not lie to you, I've had inspirational thoughts looking at what other people have done. So this is what we're thinking about doing. Somebody said I ought to make another trolley car. Well, I've made a lot of trolley cars, and I make trolley cars because they're easy. Here again, they're not steam engines. But this is what I'm thinking about doing. I've thought about doing a Burro crane. I've been out on the internet. I've been looking at old floor cranes. Martz made them, Wyandotte made them, Structo made them. And if you look at some of the cabs on these and you look at the old Burro, they're close enough for government work. The problem with that stuff is this. I finally got some dimensions on them. You can buy, there are guys that actually just sell the cabs, and that's all I'm interested in. I'm not interested in the truck body or anything like that. I'm interested in the cab and the arm of the crane. But they really get big. Those cabs are 6 inches wide. Well, a great big 400 series passenger car is only 4 inches. So that it's almost too big for my liking. So what I'm thinking about doing is this. I've talked to you many times about the versatility of the 117 caboose. And I think that the 117 now I'll tell you what this is. These are O-gauge signal lights. They stand up, but I like the fact that they've got the garter work and they narrow down. And one of the things that I like about the 117 is this is a four-piece construction. If you unsolder the ends, everything falls off. And what I thought about doing is shortening this clear back to here, using these. I've already got a pulley made that would fit in there. Now this is all subject to change. Everything I do is subject to change. But basically get it set up like this with the boom. And I don't know if I would go with a single truck or I would go ahead and make it an elongated frame and then have it a double truck set. And I don't know how I'm going to go motor-wise. This right here is just a pre-war steam engine or electric motor that I just took and stretched the axles on. And then this is what's nice. You can put your standoffs on here. You can put a bar across there. That's how this is all mounted. There's a frame on the inside, and it's mounted. Or I could go with the Alco. I've stretched this. In fact, this is the first Alco I converted, and I've never used it. I'm trying to think. The Alco, I've used a number of those. I don't see one that I've got out here that I can show you. Yeah, it is. This is an Alco right here. Same unit. It would make a good power unit. You sit those. I make a fixture to drop the side plates down on top of it, and it does a great job. I could go that route, or I could do what I've been doing in the past. I could build myself a 10 series truck underneath of it. Here's the other thing that I could maybe use. This is a boom off of a Marks. Believe it or not, it will sit down in there. Of course, it won't come out all the way. But this is what I'm thinking about. Also, I've got on order, which I don't have here yet, the erector sets. The erector sets had a vertical steam boiler that they used in it. I bought that with the cap. Now, it would be to make it a steam crane or a steam shovel. But I've already measured it. That's 2 inches in there. This is wider than 2 inches. That would sit right down in there. We could put the roof on, bring the boiler to the top of the roof, and then put the rest of the steam engine on top, so I don't have to cut a hole through it and take a chance of not getting it close enough to where I could water it, solder it, and make it seamless. So this is kind of what we're thinking. Like I say, there is a slight modification to that, but this would make a great boom. I was kind of looking at how the 219 was set up. That's actually, if I could get a 219 and maybe shorten the boom, I could go that route. Costs a lot of money to buy one of those just to chop up, so I don't know that I want to do that or not. I already decided I would mount it similar to that, off to the sides, spread it. So that's what we're looking at. That's what we're hoping to do. None of this is, of course, carved in stone, and everything is subject to change. But I really think that I'm leaning heavily towards using the 117. I just like the smaller size. And something else that I take inspiration from. Take a look at your logging railways. They've got some really homemade, neat stuff out there. Cranes being many of them to load the logs. So you have a whole universe of cranedom that you can choose from. But I still don't think this would be bad. Set up just like this with a single truck and a boom on the front. I think there's a lot you could do with it. Now, I am not going to make it to work. It's going to be for show, not for blow. Anybody that watched Mel Diners will know that line from Flo when she was asked about her handkerchief that she wore. She says, "Well, honey, this is only for show, not for blow." That's I'm not going to spend the time to make it for blow. Just to have it looking like a crane and have it enough power that we could pull a car behind it. If you've ever seen the Burro cranes, they usually pull 2 flat cars, maybe even 3. They also pulled dumps. They had a 3-cylinder Detroit engine in them, so enough to get them down the tracks, but and move a car or 2. But that was about it, and that's all I want to actually emulate with this thing. So that's where we're at on this, or that's what we're thinking of. And like I say, there's always I'll think of something else tomorrow to either add to it or to delete from it. But I'm in the process of trying to find a boom that will look right. So we'll see what happens. But I'm kind of excited about, here again, I like freight. I'm kind of excited about the idea of making a motorized crane that will look good, that will fit in with everything else that I've done. All right, guys. That's pretty much it for this May the 11th Sunday morning. Everybody be safe out there. Take the one that you loved that raised you and showered you with love and affection out for something to eat. God only knows she cooked more meals than you were probably worth. So we'll leave it at that, and you have a good Sunday, and toodaloo.